They were saying Kanye was like a white supremacist.
Oh my God.
He supports free speech.
And he has white kids.
Yeah,
I don't want to all go, Alex Jones on you. No, but seriously, I mean, we all got our real problems, but it's big corporations distracting us. Like some of the biggest tech companies run slave camps in China. That's on record. With like the worst conditions, but they fund Black Lives Matter. It's not that people that care about Black Lives Mattering are bad. It's that corporations are hiding behind all this wokeness.
So it's a shield for them
Shield
to do
of
their
wokeness,
fucked up
yeah.
shit.
It's a shield of wokeness. I mean, that's why these big corrupt, like you watch defense contractors now, they're like, and I'm saying we still need weapons. I'm not saying they're overall bad, but you turn on like Lockheed Martin's like a black guy, and like all the ads. So now it's like, wokeness is now the defense contractors. It's like, Lockheed Martin wants transgender. It has nothing to do with it. It's a total distraction.
Yeah.
So it's not even against a transgender or against a black guy. It's like, what is a corporation that makes cruise missiles telling us about this? Because it's a distraction.
And don't you think that like people would be insulted? Like if you were part of those communities, if you're a black guy, if you're trans, like wouldn't you be like, oh, you're just using me so you can get away with your bullshit?
There's a good word for it. It's what is the word for it? They're basically expropriating people's identity and like using it as a camouflage for what they're doing. It's patronizing.
Yeah, it is a little patronizing.
Because I always grew up wanting everybody to have freedom, loving everybody, not looking at what color somebody was, but what they did, what they stood for. Like a restaurant's got great food, I don't care what color you are. Music's great, I'm going to go listen to it.
Yep.
Clothes are great, I'm going to go buy it.
Ass is fat, you don't care what color it is?
Exactly. Poetry's great. Yeah,
Poetry.
One woman's got the curves. Whatever it is, you
Poetry,
hear it.
LGBT.
Yeah, hear the thing. You hear it, you know it's good. So culture is the culture of what we love and what we experience. So I'm all about experiencing new cultures. But when I'm trying to get force-fed some corporate culture that's got rainbow stripes on it and a Black Lives Matter fist, but that's not even what that is. That's just the corporations that know they've run away with the whole future, just trying to just camouflage
At
themselves.
what point do you think people will start realizing the corporations are just phony and they're doing this to make a buck?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm not against capitalism. I'm not against making a buck. I'm mad at corporations trying to get us to fight with each other while they run off with all the money.
Oh, they're like, I'm on your side. These other corporations aren't. So you should support me.
Exactly. Like I saw a cartoon that showed like a fat cat sitting behind a desk, and the left's all yelling at him. But all of a sudden, the fat cat's got a rainbow flag, and everybody's worshiping him. It's camouflage. It has nothing to do with anything.
Is there a corporation that does it right? Is there a corporation that stays out of the way? Like, does Coca-Cola try to be woke?
They're starting to be, yeah.
Really?
That's another thing is they've gotten a few corporations.
Remember, they said they're gonna move out of Georgia over the
Coca-Cola
something with Georgia
Over
and
the
voter
baseball game.
the All-Star game. Maybe they weren't gonna something over voter restrictions.
They're all involved. That's what's sad is. Like, if I go to a football game or a baseball game or anything, it's really true. I don't want politics. I don't want right wing or left wing. I want to forget about this.
Yes.
And I try to go see movies now, and it ruins them. It's just like everything is a message. Everything. Here's the deal. I got 3 daughters. I'm all about women having any job they want, going to space, being the boss, being the president. But you go to every movie, the woman beats the guy's ass, she's the hero, the men are all idiots. That goes back to Married with Children, where the dad's an idiot. There's a real admitted agenda, and I've actually got the research, to make men feel pathetic, to break up our families, and to remove us so the corporations are the daddy.
From who? From whom? Like, who's doing that? You said you got a memo on it.
Who said that?
The Tavistock Institute, a lot of those different corporate groups in the 60s and 70s said that was their plan. Okay, well, it goes back to the Carnegie Endowment. After World War I and then World War II, they said that the answer to ending war is to get rid of men. They said masculinity causes war, which is oversimplification and stupid. Okay. And then so they said we're going to feminize men. It's like Black Lives Matter says our job is to get rid of the nuclear family,
right,
and to get black men to become trans. Sounds like if aliens landed on planet Earth, they'd say, "We come for your testicles." I mean, the first thing they say is, "We don't want men." Well, what is that? It's something you're being conquered. The first thing the Romans would do when they would take over was get rid of the men of the group they conquered. The first thing any conquering group does is kill the men,
right,
and then enslave the women and the children.
And then who is they though? Like who's going to use that?
These are just formulas of dominance and control. That if you can wipe out most of the men or dumb them down or feminize them,
right,
then you're not going to have opposition. I mean, grizzly bears will eat their own baby if it's a male. The male will get a female grizzly pregnant. Then she has a male. He'll come and smell it. And if it's a male, he can tell the smell. He'll kill his own son.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want that competition down the road.
Would you eat a human?
That was a big piece I did.
What? Have you seen this?
No.
Oh, buddy.
Would you eat a human?
I will eat your fucking ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready.
Woo.
Yeah, no, that probably got 50 million views. Yeah. Remember there was there was an article called written back.
I don't know if that's the healthiest decision.
Over
I feel like
200
you should
years.
watch. Maybe get some vegetables.
Exactly.
You could eat a plant-based human. Akash is
Over
vegetarian.
200 years ago.
That might be good.
There was a Irish nobleman who saw that the Irish were starving to death, and the British didn't care. So he wrote a modest proposal.
Okay.
And he said, let's just start having the Irish cook their children like little piglets and sell them to the British to eat.
Okay.
And
yeah,
so that
Jonathan
was
Swift.
Jonathan Swift.
Satire, yeah.
Satire. And so I said, this is a Jonathan Swift satire on my own show.
Uh-huh.
And then I said all that on air, and I said, this is satire. So I said, if we're going to have a lockdown that starves the third world to death, then we should be ready to collapse here and eat our neighbors, because within about 10 to 15 days, depending on estimates, most people either commit suicide or become cannibals. So I said, then within that spectrum, I'm ready to not watch my children starve to death. You leftists that want the lockdowns and want everybody starving to death, I will eat your ass. It was all a satire. And I told them it was satire in a 10-minute rant. They edited it down to 2 minutes, got over 50 million views. And then my neighbors both moved out on both sides of me. No, I swear to God.
So that's how you get your neighbors to move away.